Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I know that some of you are still joining. We have David from F&G joining us here shortly. Right now, I am just going to kind of go over a few things that sets IAMS apart in the IMO space. I am always here for you. Feel free to call me or your regular sales director at 800-255-5055 if you come up with any questions regarding IAMS or F&G or regarding this broadcast or annuities in general. I'm always happy to help. I'm going to kind of get going here. First of all, thank you so much for joining us and taking time out of your busy day. I promise it will be worth your while. We have some really great stuff coming from F&G for 2025. First of all, at IAMS here, we have our new producer builders program. I like to call it new producer bonus. That's what we always called it before. It's a similar concept. We really help you to build your business. So once you get started with us, as you place business with IAMS, we reinvest in your business too. I always encourage my agents to take these and reinvest in more marketing. So either, that $100,000 level, either doing that postcard mailing or taking the cash and actually investing that into a marketing program. Um, we have it all the way up to the $1 million level where you can get some free money marketing events. So those Save Money marketing event workshops always make a really good return. So it's a great way to get in front of people and not take any more money out of your wallet. So we're always happy to help you invest in your business. We have our referred producer program. I actually see a couple of people on this webinar that have referred people to me in the past and are taking advantage of this. You get that $50 one-time bonus when you're referred agent contracts, and then you get a kind of an override on them without taking anything away from them. We also have ongoing marketing reimbursement after that first, new producer bonus after your first 6 months. Then we continue to put some marketing reimbursement money into your marketing reimbursement account to help you to grow your business. Our back office support is bar none, completely unprecedented. We have great people that will follow up on your business. We help you all the way from the first meeting with your clients with getting the information all the way through to closing the business, and even after you've closed the business to help you to serve those clients ongoing and service those policies. Our website is a huge resource. Not enough of you guys use it, I promise, because a lot of you call me and you're like, where do I find this? And I point you to the website as well, but I'm always happy to help you navigate it or find something on there. We have great quoters, online forms, our Luma Firelight, which we'll go over here next. Luma and Firelight, iPipeline is all on there, and the EAP systems to make things easier for you, get your business issued more quickly. Our creative department is fantastic as well. They make beautiful websites. They can help you design a logo. They just did one for one of my agents the other day, and there were like 4 or 5 options, and they were all so beautiful. He called me up and he's like, I don't know which one to pick. They're so wonderful. So we had to narrow it down to his favorite colors and a couple of things. But just they do beautiful work. So, utilize them. They are familiar with compliance, so they know how to make you the brochures and website that you need without having to worry about being compliant. Wealth management. If you want to grow your business, the best way is to get your Series 65, hold on to that business instead of sending it elsewhere. Trust me, I just got my 65. It's not easy, but it's doable. You can do it. I promise. We can help. Life and Annuity Academies. I believe we have one coming up in April. Nobody wants to come to Nebraska in the winter. I just cannot figure out why. It's so beautifully icy here right now. So, why pay for that cryogenic chamber when you can come to Nebraska? But I guess you could wait until April to come and see us. We always have great keynote speakers. You can meet other people that are top in their industry and really network and learn from each other. It's fantastic. Trek to Quebec, you still have time. You have until the end of June to qualify, so you have tons of time to make those points. It's a beautiful place at Le Chateau Frontenac. I don't speak French. I am not French, so um, forgive the Scotch lady with her, blubbering, but it's a beautiful place, and we'd love to have you join us there. Okay, follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on there all the time. Come say hi to me. Check it out. If you have questions, like I said, always call me. Feel free. Lisa Marie, 800-255-5055. And we are happy to help. I'm going to set this over to David here, and he is going to go over what F&G has to say right now. All right, I think you should have it now, David.
All right, let me attempt to do this. There we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. Always fun navigating all the different web Zoom things that we're using in 2025 as we've pivoted, and that's one of the awesome things to come out of COVID is all these the ability to connect virtually, save everybody some time. I agree, Lisa. It's freezing rain in Iowa today, and we're neighbors to you in Nebraska, so it's a tough time to get people motivated to come here. I'm not sure why, but it looks like Quebec City in August will be awesome. I had a really great time on your producer trip last year in Kiowa Islands. It was a lot of fun, a lot of great food, golf, memories. So I'm sure this trip this year will be full of the same. But today, we're going to do a quick talk about the F&G Safe Income Advantage. Last year, we really ran the table for guaranteed income. This year, our intention is to continue to run the table and guaranteed income. But there are some nuances to this product that make it truly better than what our competitors offer. And one of the things that Lisa Marie and I were talking about before this is income has become so commoditized. There's so many calculators, things like that. But the calculators may not show the full picture. And just one small example of that is our roll-up rate on this credits daily. So what that means is if you have a client that's looking to potentially defer 2 years for guaranteed income, but they end up deferring for, let's call it a year and a half or a year and 8 months, we are going to be the best income for that client. So that flexibility that's not shown in that calculator, it's a really big deal, and it really matters to your client. I have 3 clients: my mom, my dad, my mother-in-law, and each of those 3 clients retired at a different time or retired at a different date than what they gave me initially. So each of them gave me a date, and not one of them retired even within 6 months of their projected retirement date. So that just goes to show you how important some of the features are on this product. Quick agenda. We're going to be looking at top of mind concerns. Every year we do a risk tolerance tracker survey, and every year we get a little bit different feedback in terms of what retirees are concerned about. Then we'll do a deep dive on the product, and then I'll give you guys some awesome resources that are available for you as a financial advisor working with IAMS and with F&G. Sound good, Lisa? Any objection?
Sounds good. I'm just, somebody said they can't see your screen. Use that question box and let me know if anybody else can't see David's screen because I can see it okay. Um, if someone else could verify whether they can see it. One person did say they cannot see it, so I'm just making sure. Um, Also, as everybody, as you have questions, put them up there. Okay, a couple other people said they can see the screen, so I'm not sure
They
what's going
can
on,
see.
Yeah, Dustin, but we will have a replay as well that you can get, and I'll make sure that that gets sent over to you. Um, and other companies, somebody asked me, how do other companies credit their roll-up rates? Most of them credit it annually, so it doesn't roll up until it's been a year. So that's what I
That's a
usually see.
really awesome distinction there, and that's kind of the highlight. I think we have one competitor that I won't name because nobody on the call needs to know who they are. That credits their roll-up rate daily like we do. A majority of our competitors credit the roll-up rate at the end of the year, and what that means is if you want to turn on income 6 months in, a year and 6 months in, whatever else, those commoditized calculators are not giving you an accurate picture of who's going to give the best income at that point in time. So that's really the importance of the roll-up rate crediting daily is the flexibility that it provides to your clients. Because like I mentioned, 3 clients. My dad retired 8 months after he told me he was going to retire. So if we were running on a 1-year calculator or 2-year calculator, and you think about the difference in 8 years or excuse me, 8 months of roll-up versus a full calendar year, it can be substantial. So having that flexibility allows us to win in almost every half year scenario, even if we're not winning at the end of the calendar year or the end of the term for the clients. But top of mind concerns for heading into retirement today. No surprise, this continues to be a trend for pretty much every year that we've done these risk tolerance tracker surveys. As clients are worried more than ever about running out of money. Most retirees today no longer have pensions. Some still do, but if you don't have a pension, it can be really daunting to look at retirement today versus 20 years ago when you had a guaranteed income coming in. So you're kicked out the door, and they say good luck living your 4%, taking 4% withdrawal, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I hope the market doesn't crash, because if it does, I might run out of money and have to live in my kid's basement. Which, by the way, an awesome motivator, an awesome reason that I sold the Safe Income Advantage to my mother-in-law, so she can live well into retirement and not have to worry about market crash. She can continue to cash that paycheck every month from F&G. One of the really interesting points, right side of the screen there, is we're seeing it become more and more prevalent. People that are nearing retirement are concerned about the ability to maintain their lifestyle cost or keep up with the cost of living. So when you think about the last few years with inflation, with rising cost of insurance, rising cost of taxes, it's just really expensive to live in retirement today. And maintaining lifestyle costs can be a really daunting challenge when you think about overnight, my home insurance doubled from last year to this year, from $1,000 to $2,000, which if you're a working professional can be daunting, but if you're in retirement on a fixed income, it can be even more daunting. What we're seeing, though, that's a positive, is there are tons of opportunities in the marketplace today. Nearly 69% of the people that we surveyed are concerned about retirement income. Chances are because they don't have it, right? We talked about that pensions as we continue year over year as a society to get further and further away from pensions. I would predict that this type of response is going to continue to increase. Now, if you add everything up on the screen, it basically creates a really awesome opportunity for you all today, which is half the people, or nearly half the people we surveyed, are interested in trying new financial products, and only 14% said they actually even own an annuity. So you think about the opportunity that's out there. We have people concerned about retirement income, ready to try something new, and they don't even know what an annuity is or don't own an annuity. So it's a really awesome time to be in the environment we're in, where rates are really attractive, guaranteed income, very attractive, and clients need it more than ever. One of the biggest things that we continue to see as a company as we send these out, and it should be no surprise, is that everybody's concerned about inflation. When we look back to 2022, even when inflation was peaking, about 80% of people that we surveyed were concerned about inflation. Today, 85% of people are concerned about inflation. And that's investors 30 and over. So it's not just the generation of people that are retiring today, it's the future generation of retirees that are being impacted by inflation. And it's really no surprise that inflation continues to be a hot button topic. Fed has not announced another rate cut. So we're kind of at this very interesting place where inflation is high and we're kind of hoping to outgrow it versus outcut it, at least is what I was hearing this morning as I listened to my daily podcast around the economy, inflation, et cetera. You look at retirees in 2019 and some of the things that they've gone to with the really negative bond yields in 2020, the S&P being down 22%. And that's when this timing matters concept really comes into fruition here. I think it's really interesting that one of our competitors put out a similar survey to what we did. And what they found is that 50% of retirees that they were talking to are considering coming out of retirement. And on the other side of that, 50% of the people that were nearing retirement were considering delaying retirement. So we talk about how important that daily crediting is to allow flexibility for your client once they're inside of a fixed index annuity with an income rider. It's huge. But I think this is really interesting. We partnered with Dr. Michael Finca. He created this really awesome white paper that I'll share with you all at the end. But he talks about sequence of returns and sequence of inflation. And basically, they're similar concepts. And it's if you have a sequence of negative returns early in retirement or a period of high inflation early in retirement, the chance of you outliving your money becomes substantially higher than if you had that same negative yield or high inflation over a period of 10 years. So if we take ourselves back to this slide and we think about the people that retired in 2020, where they experienced really negative equity and bond yields, in addition to high inflation, there's a big reason that retirees are considering coming out of retirement. It's because of some of the uncertainty we're seeing around the sequence of returns and the sequence of inflation that they experience. So all of this summed up is basically telling you that there's never been a better time to sell guaranteed income. And there's also never been a better time to look at an income option that has an increasing income option, which I'm happy to tell you the Safe Income Advantage has not one, but two different increasing options available for your client. So we look at the three different income options. I get this question a lot. None of these have to be selected at the time of application. So when it comes time to turn on income is when that decision has to be made. But let's talk a little bit about these increasing options. You have fixed increasing. It grows at 3.5% each year, which historically kept up with inflation. And then we have inflation-based income, which increases up to 5% each year. So in a year like last year where inflation was up 6%, if your client had turned on their income, this year they would be seeing a 5% increase to that income. Of course, if we get into deflation, like what's happening to China, your client would never see a decrease in their guaranteed paycheck. And then, of course, we have the levelized income option. That's just going to put the most money in your client's pocket. Let's take a look at the three side by side. One of the things you'll notice here is that the level income is going to be the highest up front, okay? And then increasing income and or your historical inflation income generally outpace by year 8. And then you're breaking even around year 12 in most examples. So if we're looking at increasing income, we're generally going to be looking for somebody that's healthier, has a family history of living a long time, etc. But there has never been a better time to be positioning increasing income, especially if the amount of starting increasing income covers your client's fixed costs today, because it will increase as things increase through retirement. So we talk about the top things that clients are concerned about with inflation, maintaining their lifestyle. Choosing an increasing income option can help your client retire confidently. But I think this is a really beneficial slide when you look at levelized amount. Everybody tends to hop on the highest amount up front. But if you have a client like my grandfather who lived to age 96, and you look at that 5% increasing and or the 3.5% increasing, and you look at long term, what puts grandpa in a better position? And it's an increasing income without a doubt. Talk a little bit about the meat and potatoes. I think Lisa sent out the invite today. It talked about some of these features. You have a 1.15% fee. That is the fee that guarantees that you can retire with confidence. Every month you get a check. You can cash that check, spend it all, because guess what? Next month another check is coming. That's a big deal. Retiring with confidence is something that's really awesome, and I'm happy to be able to have provided that to my parents through the Safe Income Advantage, where they have some friends that when the market falters, they freak out, have to cancel vacations. None of that for my mom and dad. They're off to, I think they're going to Hawaii this month, and they get to go and spend worry-free, and that's really awesome to see for them. But let's talk about some other stuff we see here. 7.2% compounding roll-up rates. Why'd we pick that? And we'll expand on that a little bit, but everybody knows the rule of 72, defer for 10 years, double your money. But that daily crediting, we talk about beating a dead horse, and I might continue to beat this dead horse for the rest of this webinar, is the daily crediting is so important comparatively to our competitors. We talk about the commoditized income, but if you want to put your client in the best guaranteed income product on the market, find something that credits the roll-up rate daily. Give your client that flexibility. That's huge. You definitely don't want to sit down with your client today. Plans have changed. They want to retire, but you got to tell them, well, to take that income that I was projecting, you have to wait another 8 months until your contract hits its anniversary date so we can get that income. That's not a conversation you want to have with your client. So do look for daily crediting. It's very important. We talked about the income options, level, increasing, inflation-based. Now's a good time to be talking about increasing income with your clients. Of course, if there's anybody in California, you always have to highlight when a future is available in California, because it can be tough to get those out the door. And we'll talk about this impairment multiplier here in a couple slides, but it is available in the great state of California, so you don't have to limit some of these living benefits that are available to your client. I love that we made the roll-up rate 72, 7.2, right? We all know the rule of 72. If your client defers for 10 years, they have 10 years to wait to turn on income. They're going to double their income base. It's the rule of 72. Your clients know it. You know it. Really easy concept. We have a bunch of good marketing around this. But one of the other things I get asked a lot is, what if my client wants to defer for 11, 12 years? There actually is an option for your client to continue to see their roll-up rate after 10 years. It will not be less than 2% and not be greater than 7.2%, but there is an option to roll up for 20 full years. And if you look at an illustration and you don't show income, what you'll show is on the guaranteed page, a 2% hypothetical rolling up for another 10 years at 7.2%. But again, that's subject to the rate environment at the time your client chooses to renew. Really simple story here, but really awesome roll-up rate that does what? It credits daily. Such a big deal for your clients. Impairment multiplier. we have a really awesome impairment benefit on all of our products that have an income rider. Of course, check your state specifics because there are some states off the top of my head, like Illinois, that allow it on some of our products, but not on some of our other products. So make sure you're checking your state before you pitch this to your client. The good news is it is available in California and all of our income products. But essentially, what this is if your client can't do 2 of 6 daily living activities, we're going to double their income until their account value hits 0. This is a really huge benefit compared to many of our competitors. Most of our competitors, their impairment benefits are confinement based. So you think about 2 of 6. I've actually seen several of these go paid. We need a signed note from a physician that says this is intended to be permanent, the date it started, and that's it. We can get the benefit rolling for your clients. They don't have to die to receive this benefit. That's the biggest deal here, is this is an easy to access benefit compared to our competitors. 2 of 6, can't eat, can't bathe, can't dress, contingencies, transfer mobility, toileting. All of these things tend to happen when somebody, or one or two of these things tend to happen when somebody moves into a care facility. But again, really good opportunity for your client to access this benefit quickly. They don't have to be confined. You don't have to jump through hoops. Really awesome in terms of ease of use. How does it work? Let's say clients receiving $25,000 guaranteed income payment. We just did really easy, simple math here. We double it, right? They go to $50,000 if they're a single annuitant, and that's guaranteed until they run out of cash value. What happens when they run out of cash value? They revert back to the $25,000 payment. Really awesome benefit. It's also great for joint annuitants. If you have a breadwinner that's concerned about protecting their spouse, both could be eligible for this benefit. It just reduces it to 1.5 times versus 2 times. So great option here to protect yourself and potentially protect your spouse, should that be something that your clients are looking for. We have a marketing piece around this. I really love it. And your clients will do a double take. So we call this the double up, take a raise, and double up again. So we have a 50-year-old client. They're young, they're smart, they're thinking about income early. They put some money into the Safe Income Advantage, and they wait for 10 years. Well, at 10 years, they decide to turn on guaranteed income at age 60. They take an increasing income option because their advisor knew that there was increases on the horizon. They want to make sure that their client could maintain their lifestyle costs into retirement. So they have doubled up their income base. They've taken a raise in retirement, right? They started at $9,000. Now they're receiving $13,000, and boom, they become impaired. They can't do 2 of 6 daily living activities. So what do? We double it again, right? So they doubled their income base. They took a raise, and now they doubled up again to make sure that we could cover some of those costs affiliated with some of their care. Those costs are expensive, right? So double up, take a raise, and double up again. Really awesome concept here that really allows or shows for the full power of this product in terms of let's put the money in, let it cook, let's take income, continue to see some increases, and then when you need it the most, we're going to double it again. So really awesome concept here. And just to wrap things up in a nice tight bow, 7.2% compounding roll-up rate that credits daily. Huge benefit for your client. Huge option of flexibility. Not 1, not 2, but 3 guaranteed income options, and that really awesome impairment multiplier that's easy for your clients to access. So lots of great benefits. Lisa, do we have any questions in the chat that you're seeing? Anything that I can clarify before we unveil the 2025 Power Producer Compensation Plan?
Yes, absolutely. The first one is the guaranteed incomes options charge a fee, question mark. Yes, they do. And you said it's 1.15, correct?
Yep. The fee doesn't change based on income. So it's 1.15% annual fee no matter what.
Yeah, and that's no matter which option you choose. The next
Yep.
question um, comes from it says impairment multiplier is paid from the account value. Yes, that's correct. How many years, and is it used just once or several claims? And I think you've covered that, but go ahead and cover that again.
Yeah, so it can be used for several claims. Generally, when you're a single person, you don't ever come out of 2 of 6 historically because it has to be a permanent impairment, right? So, but yes, it could be used multiple times. And then for joint income, it can definitely be used several times. As long as there is a single dollar in the account value, they will receive that benefit.
Right. Next one is I joined late as a 5, 7, or 10-year surrender. This one's a 10-year surrender charge period, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, that one's from Richard. Um, yeah, very good. The next one was asking about, higher levels for large amounts, and I think that's what you're going to cover next, isn't it?
In terms of
Of
compensation.
the commission bonuses and things like that, or top
Yeah.
producers. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things to highlight is up to $2 million. There is no need for prior approval for large cases. So if you have a case that's 2 million or less, send it in just like you normally would. You get paid full comp on it. We don't do reductions. Above that, we need to run it through our actuary team, and they'll determine if there's any reductions. It's highly dependent on rate environment. So up to 2 million, full comp. Above that, let's take a look at it. But yeah, if you're consistently writing north of $2 million, you look at our street commission rate combined with this, we're pretty juicy in terms of compensation. One of the things that we did this year that I love is for the higher tiers, we have the 10 million plus 150 basis points that stayed the same. But for that second to highest tier, the 7 million to 9 million, last year it took 8 million to get there. So we actually lowered that down to 7 million to get 125 basis points. That's very attractive. So if you're in that level of the $5 to $8 million, it becomes very attractive to do business with F&G, especially if you're writing guaranteed income, because we're just knocking it out of the park. We're either 1 or 2 from age 60 to age 70 in most scenarios. And in those events that we're 2 or maybe even just outside of 2, the daily crediting, it's so impactful for your clients. And basically that means if you go 6 months in, F&G is winning. You go 3 months in, 8 months into those contract years, or we're 2 or 3, we're winning in those scenarios. So a good time to be looking at F&G for your income needs or your client's income needs for sure. I will send a copy over this to you, Lisa Marie, that you can share out with the attendees today. This is available on Sales Link as well. But really awesome stuff. We're paying it quarterly. So I've got several groups that I work with that are already well above the $2 million threshold. So come the end of the first quarter, they're going to be seeing another nice additional paycheck from F&G. They can go out and run another seminar or continue to pay some marketing dollars to expand their practice in 2025. I'll
We
take
just
some
had
resources really quick.
one more
Go ahead.
question come in. Can you do a rollover in cash for a 2025 IRA contribution at the same time? I believe the answer is yes, correct?
Do rollover.
A rollover and then also a cash contribution for that year's
Yeah.
contribution. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Isn't it
100%.
flexible premium anyway with a lot of the products?
Yeah, almost all of our products are flexible premium. With income products, you want that premium to come in the first year, and it has to be a minimum of $2,000. But to answer that question, yes, all the way up until April, the tax deadlines, we send out an email with that every year. But yes, flexible premium, and yes, additional contributions welcome.
Yeah, that's something that I feel really sets F&G apart is the ability to do multiple premiums because a lot of carriers don't do that.
That's right. Keep singing the praises, Lisa. I love it. Um, some resources. We have stolen some marketing folks away from some of our competitors that you may love their marketing material. So as we roll into 2025, you're going to see us get better and better and better with the marketing materials that are available to you and your practice. So we have a ton of Safe Income Advantage marketing materials, some about inflation. One of the things I want to highlight is this F&G annuity calculator. It's available on SalesLink. It's underutilized. I used it for my mother-in-law because we wanted to look very finite at a dollar amount. If she deferred for 6 months and she gets paid monthly, that will give you to the dollar what your client would receive in that scenario. So use that income calculator if you have a client that wants to wait 3 months, 2 months, a year and 6 months. It's going to give you really awesome detailed numbers for your clients, so you can do a better holistic plan with them versus working off the illustration, doing math, things like that. So use the calculator on our website if you're looking at a specific scenario in terms of income for your client. I alluded to it a little bit earlier, but we have a ton of information around inflation. We partnered with Dr. Michael Finca, such a great guy, so knowledgeable, has been in the industry for a long time. He did the baby boomers dilemma back in the day. But scan this code here, read his white paper that he put out comparing the Safe Income Advantage to a bond portfolio, specifically comparing it to a time of high inflation like we've been in. It's really easily consumable. I was able to read it. I'm not a great reader. And you're able to take away some awesome information. So please do use this QR code and take a look at that white paper. There's so much good information on it. He has a very specific example on his white paper around a client that retires, comparing it directly to another client that retires, taking bond, the 4% retirement rule. And I think you'll find it pretty shocking, the conclusion that if we have 5% inflation over the next 10 years, the chances of that client running out of money in a bond portfolio are substantially higher. I guess there is no chance of running out of money with the F&G, but just the chance of running out of money by the time that client hits 83 is over 80%. So lots of good tidbits in there, especially if you're running into clients that have old bonds. And there it is. The Income Planning and Inflationary Time by Dr. Michael Finca. Awesome piece. I'll leave this up for a few minutes and I'll let Lisa close us out.
Thank you so much, David. I actually have seen that piece and it is very good. I actually really like that piece. I've sent it out before as well, because it really boils it down to an easy, like you said, an easy to consume information that's, very helpful. I also have like this little poll I'm going to launch so that you can click yes if you're interested in getting contracted with F&G. Go ahead and put that in, because if you want to get a contract with them, then we can go ahead and send you the information on it. I can make sure that's taken care of today. I'm not going to be upset if you click no, and I won't tell David on you. I'll be nice. Or
I
if
will
you're
be upset.
already if you're already licensed with F&G, still click yes so that David feels good about it. And then or if even if you just like more information but don't necessarily aren't ready to 100% contract but want more info on the products or something like that you'd like me to reach out to you, just click yes so that I know, a little green check mark to make sure I get in touch with you today, and get you the information that you need. Like I said, I just love it when we can all kind of get together and learn about something that is, beneficial for your clients. I'm always about advisors being advisors and not salesmen. Because what you're doing is you're taking the information, and I know all of you have that heart to help your clients, that you want to help your clients succeed. You don't want to look them in the face in 5 or 10 years and not be able to face them because you didn't do a good job of making sure they were taken care of. You love having those relationships that are ongoing, that you can, they recommend you to their kids and their siblings and their friends because you've done a good job of making sure that they have that peace of mind of the income that they need and are taken care of. So having this information at your fingertips really does help you and your clients to be ready for inflation, which is a huge hot button right now. Um, between inflation and tariffs and will it help, will it not? All this uncertainty, knowing that that can be taken care of is a big deal. That's something that I always go to F&G if someone's concerned about inflation, because it follows the true CPI, and you can increase that. So thank you so much, everybody, for voting and for coming on here and letting me know what information you'd like. And thanks again to David for helping us to see the value in this. Um, Always call me if you need illustrations or um, want to see what we can do with it. I'm happy to run it all 3 ways for you, or several ways, so you can see how that can work. But thanks again, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thanks, David.
Thanks, Lisa.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.